Good evening and blessings. Hey, I just wanted to come and bring a word from the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 4 and starting at verse 25, and it says, "And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, said she, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord." Because it says here that at this time, this is when men began to call upon the name of the Lord. And so this was a marked thing that happened. So we know that there was Abel, and then there was Cain, and then Cain murdered Abel. So now Cain has been banished. So now Abel and Cain are gone, pretty much. I mean, Cain's still alive, but he's been cast off to the ends of the earth, as he put it. And so now Adam and Eve have been blessed with another son, and this is Seth. And if you go on to Genesis chapter 5, which I will, it starts talking about the generations of Adam. And it says here, this is the book of the generation of Adam. "In the day that God created man in the likeness of God, made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth." So, wow. Like, this genealogy goes from Adam to Seth. There's no mention when this genealogy starts of Cain and Abel. It's like there was a marked difference with the birth of Seth. "And all the days of Adam were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and begot Enos. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years, and begot Canaan. And Enos lived after he begot Canaan 815 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years, and got Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years, and begot Jared. And Mahalalel lived after he begot Jared 830 years, and begot sons and daughters. All the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and begot Enoch. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Wow. God took him. God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begot Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begot Lamech 782 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begot a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, "This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed." And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old. And Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So, wow, what we're seeing here, we're seeing this genealogy that only highlights the firstborn. And so Seth was a type of the firstborn of man from Adam on. It was like the firstborn of mankind. So Seth now is considered, like, even though he's not the firstborn, like a firstborn, but all these other generations, it was only the firstborn that was highlighted. And then we get to Noah. And all of a sudden, Shem, Ham, and Japheth were named. So now it's like another shift. There's another shift that just happened. Oh my goodness. I'm seeing this. There's a shift that is occurring. There was this shift when Seth was born, and now there's a shift with Noah and his descendants. And so it's just amazing how God is so very particular about genealogies. He is so very particular about the firstborn. God has a lot to say about the firstborn. The firstborn is special to God. And the firstborn is dedicated to God. And so all throughout the Old Testament, you will see mention of the firstborn. And so who did God strike when he struck the Egyptians? Some of these things in the Old Testament, like, as you see it, you're like, okay, there's something there. There's something there. And there's something here with Abel and Cain not being mentioned in the genealogy of Adam. There's something here with now only the firstborn is being mentioned, even though all these people have had so many sons and daughters. The other thing that stands out to me is they didn't have children. They didn't have their firstborn until like after 100 years old, which I realized that they did live longer than we live, but still you would think like 100 years old is a long time before you have a child. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I'm telling you this, God has a lot to say about the firstborn. I pray that something I said, something I shared meant something to someone today. God bless you and have a wonderful day. In Jesus' name.